Okay, Jai Jagannath. So today we are starting chapter 14, the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Okay, now the first verse. The wonderful Lord said, I will tell you again about this supreme knowledge among all sciences. Through this knowledge, all the great sages have attained the supreme perfection of transcendental realization from this world. So the param means both transcendental and supreme. As usual, stop me if you have any questions. 2.
Sure.
Those who take
In
shelter
this
in
verse, like first verse,
2.
we feel similar. Krishna. Yeah, like this first verse, Krishna had said several times in Gita, I'll tell you the knowledge which is supreme, supreme, and
Yeah.
that chapter goes on.
Yeah.
So,
This means that the
is it like
entire
Krishna is
Bhagavad
referring to
Gita
that
is the
particular
supreme
chapter that
science.
this is supreme, or like overall this Bhagavad Gita knowledge
Yeah,
is supreme?
exactly. Including the knowledge of the gunas,
Okay.
which some people could consider material, but still it is supreme and transcendental. Because if we know the gunas, we can use them in the service to God, and then we can overcome them. If we don't know the gunas, we are doomed to be controlled by the gunas. If we know the gunas, we can control and transcend the gunas, which is a very important thing. Many people seem not to understand the point. Anyway, so 2. Those who take shelter in this knowledge attain my same position, and they are not going to take birth in a next creation. They will also remain firmly established even at the time of the dissolution. So here the verse said, Sadharmyam agata, the same dharma. Dharma, position, is translated as position, just as nature, beauty, function, consciousness. So the verbal root dri means to sustain, to support. What is the dharma of Krishna? Supporting and maintaining the universe in its material and spiritual progress, which includes protecting the good and harmless people and weeding out the evildoers, as well as explaining the principles of ethics and religion, meaning the dharma. Which is interesting, my same position, my same dharma. Three. O descendant of Bharata, the Mahatattva is my matrix, in which I create the embryo of creation, from which all beings or situations subsequently manifest. Mama Yoni, Mahat Brahma. So the Brahman is the Shakti, is Purusha and Prakriti at the same time. Okay. Four. In whatever form of matrix they appear, all beings are children of the Supreme Mother, and I am the Father who gives the seed. Okay?
Can you elaborate on that one again?
On verse 4, elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Mahatattva is Mother Nature. We cannot separate Mother Nature from God the Father. God is not just male or female. He is both. So the Brahman contains both the spiritual and material existence. Does that help to make it clearer?
This sentence, like in in whatever form of matrix they appear, what
Matrix
do we mean by
means
matrix? What my
Johnny.
understanding? Mhm.
What is a matrix? A matrix is the mother. How to say? How we describe the yoni? The yoni is the uterus. So the entire material universe is a big matrix. The Mahatattva is a matrix that manifests in many forms of mothers. So the idea of matrix applies not only to the human beings and mammal animals, but to all bodies, to all beings, including the plants. Okay. It's a
Okay.
wider idea. So all beings are children of the Supreme Mother and Father. So Mother and Father can never be separated. Is that understandable?
Yes.
Okay. And the Ishvara is the Father that gives the seed of all existences. That is the idea of the Brahman. Brahman is non-manifested. So Brahman is non-manifested but contains the seeds of all existences. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Mm, good.
Any other elaboration here?
No, that's
Okay.
it.
So we go on with the verse 5. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. These are the gunas manifested by the Prakriti. O mighty armed Arjuna, these gunas bind the eternal soul to the body. So, all the three of them. Okay, not just the tamas or the rajas, but the sattva as well. 6. O sinless Arjuna, among these the contact with sattva through association binds to purity, illumination, freedom from defects, happiness and knowledge. So we take birth again, but in a better situation. Seven. O son of Kunti, you should know that the contact with Rajas develops attachment and hankering that bind the embodied beings to action. Okay. Raga atmakam, attachment, attraction. Krishna. 8. However, O descendant of Bharata, you should know that tamas causes ignorance and its binding results, such as confusion, madness, laziness, and excessive sleep. Okay, this is quite self-explanatory.
Yeah.
9. O descendant of Bharata, it is said that sattva binds through happiness or to happiness, rajas through activities, and tamas transforms into madness. Sanjayati gives birth to madness. 10. O descendant of Bharata, when rajas defeats tamas, it turns into sattva. But when rajas obfuscate sattva, it becomes tamas. And then tamas overpowers sattva and rajas as well. Is that clear?
No, not quite.
Yeah.
So when tamas, this rajas defeats tamas, how can it turn into sattva? Rajas is itself
because the
binding and
action that is free from ignorance helps you to evolve. Helps you to learn, to understand things better. So it creates awareness, enlightenment, knowledge. When you work and through good work, you become happy. But how you work, in a good way, by defeating tamas. So basically, rajas is an intermediate force. When the rajas is free from ignorance, it means it goes towards knowledge, towards a proper understanding, right? So the proper understanding becomes sattva, because it develops into understanding, intelligence, knowledge, enlightenment. You understand how it works?
yes.
The problem is that rajas does not defeat tamas. The action is selfish. It's based on the ignorance of material identification and attachment. That cannot take us to sattva. So we need to vanquish, defeat tamas, specifically ignorance and foolishness. And the root of all ignorance is the material identification with the physical body and the subtle mind, the attachment, identification and attachment, ahankara and mamatva. So when rajas defeat tamas, it is going upwards. When rajas is defeated by tamas, it takes us downwards. Rajas is like a lift, an elevator. It can go up or down. Because rajas basically means movement, right? Attraction.
Yes.
Attachment, attraction. So the attraction makes us move either upwards or downwards. If we don't go upwards, we will go downwards, because this is a law of gravity, a law of karma. It goes down the hill, especially in Kali Yuga. But when rajas obfuscate sattva, means when your passion, your attraction becomes stronger than intelligence, clarity, understanding, then it becomes tamas. So tamas overpowers sattva because already we have left, sattva because it became clouded by selfishness. And then tamas also overpowers rajas itself. So when we fall into tamas, we become useless, basically. We imagine that we are doing a lot of things, that we are acquiring things, we are controlling, we are, enjoying, but it is not a fact. So, we become mad, we become crazy. So that's why the previous verse was saying that tamas creates madness. Because when you keep running around like a headless chicken, at some point you don't have a head, you don't know what you're doing. So you're just imagining that you're doing something useful, but that's not a fact. You understand how it works?
Yes.
Okay. Any comment?
Not on this one, but previous one says that sattva is like you become happy and yeah,
Well,
it's
become happy,
yeah through
you
happiness and
become bound by happiness. Let's make an example. Okay. Sattva is cleanliness. Okay. So when you are in sattva, you like to be clean. Right? You enjoy taking a bath, taking a shower. You enjoy having clean hands. But if you become too attached to sattva, you find difficulties, for example, in cleaning the house because your hands will become dirty. When you clean house, lots of dust will come up. Lots of the dirt will come up, and you'll have to take the dirt, collect the dirt, and throw it out. If you are very attached to cleanliness, it's difficult to do the cleaning. It's actually ironic, but it is a fact. So we need to, when we are in sattva, we need to use rajas to keep sattva going. So we need to have sufficient attraction to do the cleaning. To take a shower, to wash our clothes, and, that's not sattva because it's a lot of work and you have to get your hands, into the dirty water and everything. So, if you are bound by sattva, ironically, you slide into tamas. So, we need to be detached from sattva as well. So, that level beyond sattva is called Vishuddha sattva. To continue with our example, you know that your real self is not going to be affected by the dirty water. It's just your hands. So okay, you put your hands in the bucket of dirty water with the floor, cleaning cloth, and then you wash the cloth, you wash your hands, and everything is nice and clean. So you we abandon the identification. We are not bound by sattva. We use the gunas in the proper way. So that is the nitya sattva, the constant sattva. We need to, go beyond the material sattva. So we are always happy no matter what we're doing. Because in sattva we are happy when everything is peaceful and quiet. But if we transcend material sattva, we can be happy anywhere. Because we are quiet, we have peace inside ourselves. So whatever is happening outside ourselves is not so important because we don't identify, we're not attached. You understand?
Yes.
So in the same way, when we do sadhana, we do tapasya, sometimes we have to tolerate that we cannot be in sattva guna. Like, for example, we are traveling in pilgrimage places, maybe we cannot take bath every day, because if we don't find a proper place to take bath, we cannot take bath. Or maybe we cannot eat the proper food every meal. So we'll have to make do with what we find. So this means that we are not attached, we are not bound by sattva. Of course, we always make choices that are more sattvic, but we are not tied up. Is this clear?
Yes, got it.
Okay. Any other observation about this?
No,
No.
I
Okay.
can move on.
Let's continue. Okay, so when Rajas defeats Tamas, it turns into Sattva. But when Rajas obfuscates Sattva, it becomes Tamas. And then Tamas overpowers Sattva and Rajas as well. 11. It is said that when all the doors of the body are enlightened by the realization of knowledge, then such knowledge increases the power of sattva. So knowledge is beyond the gunas. Knowledge doesn't belong to the gunas. So the proper knowledge increases the power of sattva. So our perception is depending on the gunas. Because if we associate with the guna or the other, our understanding of knowledge will be different. If we associate with sattva, our perception of knowledge will be clearer. If we choose the association with rajas, our perception of knowledge will be oriented to material benefits, material advantages. And if we associate with tamas, our research for knowledge, our perception of knowledge will be covered. We are stupid. We cannot understand anything. Is that clear?
Yes.
Knowledge is beyond the gunas. Okay. Okay. 12. Obese among the descendants of Bharata. When the contact with rajas creates a tendency to greed and a lack of control in engaging in activities, then there is an increase in rajas. So, when we choose to associate with a guna, that guna becomes stronger. Knowledge is generally associated more with sattva, because sattva is intelligence, enlightenment, clarity of thought, so knowledge helps. But greed also increases rajas. Now, what is greed? Lobha. Lobha means excessive desire, excessive activity, excessive effort. Okay. It is said that when the power of rajas increases, there is an increase of greed, an uncontrolled urge to begin many activities and enterprises. A passion for action remains pure, sattvic, as long as we are not attached to the selfish enjoyment of the result of the action. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana. Karma phala heturbhur mate sangos svakarmani. So it's not that if we work more, it means we are in rajas. We can work more, but still be in sattva and in shuddha sattva. But it's not selfish work. It's not work in material identification and attachment. We are just doing our duty. We are not thinking about our profit. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Any questions here?
No.
No. Okay. So we continue. Oops. O beloved descendant of Kuru, with the increase of tamas we find stupidity, laziness, madness, and confusion that tend to get worse and worse. There is no end. Clear?
Yes, clear.
Good. And we go on to the 14. When the strength of sattva increases at the time of pralaya, the embodied soul attains the highest dimensions of the pure souls, means Svargaloka. Uttamavidam lokan amalam pratipadyate. Also, the similar verses found in the instructions given by Krishna to Uddhava. Sattve pranina svaryanti. Nara lokam rajolaya. Tamolayas tunirayam yantimam eva nirguna. Those who die in sattva go to Swarga. Those who die in rajas take a new birth in the world of man. Naralokam. And those who die in tamas sink into a degraded situation. But those who have risen above the gunas attain me. Okay, Amalam. "15. When death or annihilation comes, pralaya. Pralaya means distraction, which is we can apply to some planets or just our material body. So when death comes, those who are under the influence of rajas take a new birth among those who are attached to activities, while those who meet distraction while under the influence of tamas take birth in matrices devoid of intelligence. Mudha yonishu. Mudha yonishu. Okay. 16. They say that sattva gives immaculate results as properly performed duties, while rajas produces distress and tamas produces ignorance. From sattva, knowledge is generated. Jnanam. From rajas, greed is born. And certainly, tamas manifest madness, illusion, ignorance, and stupidity. So it's a circle. It's a samsara. Sattva produces sattva, and sattva produces sattva. So both as cause and effect. So it becomes reinforced. So in the same way, when we choose rajas or tamas, the circle of rajas and tamas are strengthened. So we keep rolling into rajas or tamas. Okay. Is that clear? Oops. Oh, still there. Okay. Okay. Anything here? No. Okay. We go on. 18. Those who are established in sattva
Jai Jagannath, there is some issue now. It was working till now.
Now I hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
There is some network issue. I was lost for almost
I suspected that. Okay, shall we stop at 17?
I was lost for last 1 minute, so.
Okay. I think we should stop here at 17.
I think we can continue now. It's okay.
Okay.
Maybe that.
Okay,
1 minute. I'll read through those words.
Yeah. Those who are established in sattva rise upwards. Those who are in rajas remain on the intermediate level. But those who regularly engage in the abominable qualities of tamas fall downwards. Okay. So. "19. One who realizes that the activities are performed merely by the gunas has the right vision, and by knowing my nature attains the level of perfection." Okay. Mad bhavam, my nature. Sadigachati. Okay. "20. By rising beyond these three gunas, the embodied soul becomes completely free from the effects of the body, birth, death, old age, and all their sufferings, and enjoys immortality." Okay, I think we can stop here at verse 20 and we continue next time.